What up, guys? My name's Joe, aka Joe the Investor, and this is the first episode of the Wealthy Podcast. Um, this podcast is just going to be about not only financial wealth, but mainly health. Financial wealth, health, mindset, designing your life the way you want to live it. And my goal with this podcast is just to bring as much value as I possibly can, to you guys. I'm 32 years old now. I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom, along the way, and I just want to share that with you guys. And I feel like we're missing that. We're missing that in a lot of influencers that we have now, and just the people that are leading the youth right now. I just feel like we're missing a lot of wisdom and knowledge. They're just a lot of people just want to entertain and be clowns on the internet, but I want to take a different route. I want to share with you guys, how to be happy basically, and happy with yourself and with your life. You know, a lot of people are depressed and anxious all the time, but um, you don't have to be that way. It starts with your mindset, your health, and that's what this podcast is going to be about. It's going to just be about how to become wealthy, how to eat healthy, and I want to help you guys. If you guys need help with any of that, uh, DM me, drop a comment. I'm always here to talk and help, especially the youth. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them don't have direction, like I said. So if I could help out in any way, I would love to do that. So to me, the true meaning of wealth for me is health. Number one, if 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 I meet a rich person who's like fat and overweight, and it's just not, it's not sustainable. Like I don't see that person as wealthy. Like you got to be in shape. You got to get your health right first before anything. If you can't get your health right, then you're not going to live long. So that's rule number one on becoming wealthy, is you got to get your health right. And how do you get your health right? Well, you got to eat the right foods. You got to cut the sugar to a minimum. You got to get disciplined with what you eat, and what times you eat. You can't be up at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock eating cupcakes and cookies and stuff. So I'm a true believer in, if you get your health right, then your mind will follow. If you feel good and you're eating good, then your mind's gonna be sharp. So yeah, that's rule number one, is health. And when if you become healthy, then your family and people around you are gonna want to be healthy. You're gonna start influencing people around you to be better. And that's what I like about this too. Like, not only are you gonna change your life, you're gonna change the people around you. So that's another reason to become the best version of yourself. um yeah, so the first step is health. The second step is your mind. You got to get your mind right. How do you do that? You got to stay in the gym. You got to create good habits. You got to watch podcasts and people who teach you things, and learn new things, and travel. You can't just doom scroll and watch random things. You got to put yourself out there, make yourself uncomfortable. That's what I did when I was younger. I just I kind of was felt lost. So what I did is just travel, and traveling was just taught me a lot. Taught me, it humbled me. It taught me, to help other people out, and it just, I really recommend that if you're feeling lost or depressed, I'd say travel, and you'll see, like, if you travel to third world countries, then you're gonna appreciate living in the U.S. a lot more, and because I mean, people are like kind of just people think the whole world is like the US, but you know, if you're in a third world country, you appreciate having hot water and, you know, AC, you know, and a toilet. You know, people, not everyone has that kind of stuff. So once you travel, you get to see different ways of living, and it humbles you. Um, and yeah, just, you know, you get this. You gotta have a wealthy mind, wealthy body, wealthy spirit, wealthy water. You know, I stopped drinking plastic water. That's another big one. Um, no tap water, and yeah, my kind of my personal journey with it is, you know, like I've always been on a okay path, but I've always like had little things that I wasn't disciplined. Like I'd be disciplined on the gym, but then not on food. I'd be, you know, disciplined on learning on YouTube, but you know, not. I'd be smoking weed all the time, and you know, being lazy, and so I've always been halfway, you know, good, halfway bad, and I know a lot of you guys struggle with that too. So it's just it takes good habits. You know, you got to get your habits right, and it takes time. You know, you can't be impatient. That's another thing. Like, just know that it's a journey. It's a marathon. You know, it takes a lot of work. You gotta just know that, you know, life is gonna be stressful. You're always gonna be stressed. You know, you just gotta learn to live with it. You know, and just become the very best version that you can. It's not easy, and you just gotta day by day, brick by brick. You know, you can't look too far into the future. You gotta become the best version of yourself. And yeah, that starts with your health, and then the people around you as well. You know, if you're around a lot of people that are bad influences, then you're just gonna gravitate towards that kind of thing. So you gotta be around people that are that want to become better, or if you can't be around people, then just watch videos on people who are trying to become better versions of themselves, so you can relate to them. You know, like me, I don't really hang out with a lot of people, you know, and I got like a couple people that I talk to, and that's it. You know, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't drink. Like I said, I stopped smoking about 6 months ago, and I can't tell you how much my life has improved since then. Like ever since I stopped smoking weed, I just my mind is so much sharper. I'm getting so much more done. Like it's not like night and day, you know, and it's a lot easier for me now to be disciplined. I'm not in a different state of mind where, you know, I'm just want to eat everything and be lazy and chill, you know. So that's what this podcast is mainly going to be about. I'm going to try and bring some you know, some investors on here, some people who have their own businesses. I'm going to try and talk to people who, you know, are really have a wealthy life, and like I said, their health is good, business, you know, spirit. That's what I want to bring to this podcast, and hopefully you guys you can learn something from it, and just know that I'm in the same position. I'm grinding right now. I'm not some rich guy who knows everything, but I'm on my way to becoming the best version of myself. So hopefully you guys can learn something. If you need someone to talk to, or you need some advice, just drop a comment or DM me. And I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Just know that, like, I really appreciate every single viewer. If you could just help me out, like, subscribe, I'd love it. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next episode.